I decided to raise my hand because it was sort of related to this. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm ready to dialogue with my inner being. I react, I feel, I make my choices through feeling, but I love the Abraham and Esther dialogue, or the Jerry can dialogue. And
let us tell you the place to start. It's not really starting because you've already started, but this is what we would focus on. This is the emphasis that we would focus on. Rather than talking to your inner being, listen for your inner being. So don't call it so much a dialogue, because the back and forth will trip you up at first. So not so much a dialogue as a tuning in and a reaching for the perspective of your inner being. So the attitude, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Sort of start it off that way. What do you think about that? And then just enjoy the thoughts wafting into your mind, because you are at the place where you are now able to start translating that vibration into thought. Just let it flow. But if you try to talk back, you'll mess up the flow. So it's just listen. The best time to do it is like when you are lying in bed getting ready to go to sleep, or even better, when you first wake up. And best of all, if you wake up in the middle of the night, just lie there and listen.
oh, okay.
Sort of a one-way dialogue for a while, just for a little while. And then before you know it, the dialogue is more than just thoughts and words. It's impressions, it's impulses, it's expanded emotion, it's appreciation for something that you're seeing that is just turning you inside out. It's increasing your capacity to realize the perfection of this moment in time. So it's more than a verbal dialogue or communication. It's like an allowing of who you really are to be present in this moment in time. And you're already doing some of that.
Right.
Yes.
Right. If it is with me, if my inner being is with me, it's got to be having a lot of fun right now.
Having a lot of fun and having a lot of interest and having a lot of new experiences and having a lot of desire to focus in such a way that you know it that. Sort of like hearing a funny story and wanting someone to tell it to. It's nice to be feeling it on your own. The other day, Esther was having lunch with a friend, and she had just had a week with a group of people, her daughter and husband and their 2 children, and another couple and their son, and another person that they'd spent a lot of time together during this week. And they were laughing a lot and enjoying each other a lot. So now those people are not there, and Esther is having this meal with her friend, and she is saying, I am so happy about and excited about all of the time that is before me, that I get to discover the deliciousness of all of these people. She was just in such a mode of savoring the funny things they say and the funny things they do, and the cooperative dance that they were all doing together, and the bigger life experience that was happening for all of them because of the communication between them. In other words, Esther was in such a mode of appreciation about these people and the ongoing delicious experience that she is sure of. And her friend said, maybe the most profound thing that she's ever heard anyone say, and the timing of it could not be more perfect. That must be how our inner beings feel about us. And then goosebumps covered them and tears came down their face, because the realization of how Source feels about you, how intertwined and how happy and how in love with life and how proud of you, and how Source revels in all of your feelings of success and all of your feelings of interest. And in that moment in time, Esther felt it, what it feels like for Source. So just run around with your Source more deliberately.
Right.
Let that veil be non-existent. Let that valve be open. Let those impulses flow. It isn't that Source isn't always dancing no matter
Right.
what you're doing.
Right.
But when Source is dancing and you're dancing too, that's the way that we all intended for it to be.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I have a lot of things that I'm interested in.
A lot of things that you and Source are interested in.
Yeah, music,
We're just saying.
music, designing things, creating things.
Yeah.
Business in general. I have a hard time deciding. Well, sometimes I think that I need to focus on one thing to get
Well,
really good at it.
It isn't that. It's that you need to pick the thing that's the easiest to feel good about, because that causes that alignment, and then just follow the flow from broader perspective, the path of least resistance. Because some things are more open than others in the moment. The timing for some things is now, and the timing for other things is not now. So you want the impulse for the timing of the thing that is now to be in your awareness, yes?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've been noticing that more lately. The more I focus on something that's fun to me, it'll lead me to something else that was fun earlier, but I lost interest in it.
Or how about something that's fun that leads you to something else that's fun, that leads you to something else that's fun, and the timing of all of it just being perfect. Esther's been working on a building project where there are a lot of different contractors doing a lot of different things, and some things just need to be done before the other things. And it's a little bit overwhelming to try to be the orchestrator of the agenda for everyone. And what Esther is noticing is the universe is orchestrating the agenda. They're just showing up and ringing the doorbell at just the right time. It's like somebody else is on this, and Esther's really glad that somebody else is on this. And she will say at the end of almost every day, I could not have figured that out if I had tried and tried and tried to do it. But broader perspective knows exactly. So if I stay in this loose, I'm really happy, everything's going well thing, then the doorbell just rings at the right time, and the right person is standing there ready to do the next logical step for the whole project, you see. And that's what's going on in your life. There are a whole lot of different aspects that are all in place for the unfolding of your magnificent life experience. And you put all of the pieces into your vortex a little bit at a time, some before you even came into this physical body. And Source knows what they all are. And so as you stay in that comfortable, happy place, then the impulse will come. Our encouragement to you, it's the encouragement that we offered to Esther a few months ago, and she's been following it, and it has brought her not only productiveness and satisfaction, but it's brought to her a stronger level of joy than she's ever experienced before. And our encouragement is this: when an impulse comes to you, follow it. In other words, when that impulse comes, that's when the conditions are ripe for the action that you're feeling inspired to. Follow it. Don't stuff it. Don't procrastinate it. Don't put it off. Don't go down your list of other things. When that impulse comes, follow it, because it's what Source sees as the next logical step for the joyful unfolding. Emphasis on the joyful unfolding is natural. Emphasis on the joyful unfolding that you are about.
Okay.
Yeah. Something more?
I don't think so.
Really good.
Thanks.
Really good. Yeah. Yeah.
I have not been enjoying contrast much lately, but I've been getting an awful...
That's because you're in step 1 instead of in step 5. So what happens between step 1 and 5? What happens to you? What do you accomplish between step 1, where contrast just shows up, and step 5, where you appreciate it? What happened? You became a better focuser.
I played more and I stopped.
You became a better focuser, and you become a better focuser, and you care more in a more pronounced way of how you feel. You're not willing to put up with emotions that don't feel good.
Correct.
That's all that's required between step 1 and step 5, is a stronger determination to feel good, which brings about a more constant awareness of how you are feeling, and then a willingness to do something about shifting the emotion by not needing to change a condition you can't change.
Okay.
When you think you've got to change a condition, or when you think you can change a condition in order to improve your emotion, you're in trouble. But when you show yourself that you can change the emotion without the condition changing, oh, now you've mastered your point of attraction.
Okay. I believe I have a purpose. I believe I know my purpose. You brought up something about the cheese, the Swiss cheese.
Your purpose isn't about what you will do. Your purpose is to joyfully find stuff to do. That's your purpose. What's your purpose in life? To joyfully find stuff to do. Well, what am I supposed to do? Joyfully find stuff to do. Well, should I do that? Doesn't matter. Should I do that? Doesn't matter. Should I do that? Doesn't matter. Just find joyful stuff to do. That's your purpose. That's your purpose. Nobody's assigned you. Most people think my purpose is to find the most awful thing and conquer it. That's my purpose. Growth, growth, growth. Now, your purpose is joy.
Okay. I'm good at that.
Yeah.
I just need to allow it more and not take criticism from those who see me as being too playful, not serious enough.
Well, the only people who will call you too playful are those that are out of alignment and working too hard.
There's a lot of those in my life.
Everybody can be independent. In other words, if you're independent of each other, then it's really not any of your business what anybody else is doing.